So one of the things that I've been hearing a lot of feedback from you about the content I've been sharing around habits. And you know what's so fascinating to me is that most people write to me about how do I break a habit? I want to change a habit. I have this habit that I don't like. Far less people write to me about how do I create a new habit. And so that's been really interesting, an interesting insight for me to know in terms of some of the challenges that you're facing, in terms of changing some of the things that you want to change, that you know can make a difference to you stepping into that next level of yourself. Now, some of you have heard, I'm sure, about the marshmallow experiment. For anybody who hasn't heard about the marshmallow experiment, back in 1970 at Stanford University, some behavioral scientists did an experiment with 32 kids. They were not toddlers, but they were like preschool age kids, young children. And what they did was they put them in a room, and in front of the kid, they put either a marshmallow or pretzel, depended on the kid's preference. And they said to the child that, I'm going to give you this one marshmallow, right? But I need to leave the room. If I leave the room and when I come back, you haven't eaten that one marshmallow, I'll give you another marshmallow. So you'll end up with two. And then the experimenter left the room. So they left this kid in the room by themselves with this plate that had the marshmallow on it. Now, here is the interesting thing. The vast majority of kids, now I can't remember the exact stat, but I think it was about 75% of the children ate the marshmallow. The other 25% didn't eat the marshmallow. Now, these experimenters, these researchers followed these kids for a number of years as they became adolescents, as they went out into the world and started work careers. And what they found was the kids who had not eaten the marshmallow, the kids who had resisted, who had not eaten the marshmallow, were more successful in life. They got better grades at school, they graduated from university, they had better paying jobs, they were healthier. And that was an interesting insight for these researchers. And what they figured out from that, initially I think they thought that it was just about the power of self-control. And what they recognized from their research was that the children who were able to resist the temptation of eating the marshmallow did it by having a strategy. And their strategy was they distracted themselves. They didn't look at the marshmallow. They found something else to do, something else that took their attention. So some kids sang songs, some kids danced around. There was one little clever girl who put her head down and fell asleep. So she was able to get through the experiment, not be tempted, because she took her attention off the thing. Now, why am I bringing this up? Especially since I mentioned that so many of you have been asking me about, how do I break a habit? How do I break a bad habit? Well, first of all, the brain doesn't know the difference between a good and a bad habit. It just knows habit. And here's what human nature does as well. The moment you start to focus on something, so let's just say you say, I'm not going to eat chocolate anymore. I want to go on a diet. I want to be healthier. I'm eating too much chocolate. I'm not going to eat chocolate anymore. Guess what? All you can think about all day long is chocolate, because now you're not thinking about chocolate. It's just like if I say to you, don't think about a pink elephant. Whatever you do today, don't think about a pink elephant. What's the first thing that happens in your mind? Now your mind is thinking, don't think about a pink elephant. Now you're thinking about the pink elephant. And that's exactly the same thing that happens with habits. And so I'm going to tell you something that might seem a little bit counterintuitive. If you're trying to change a behavior, trying to change a habit, break a habit, although as I said before, there is no such thing as breaking a habit. If you're trying to untangle a habit, the best way to actually do that is not to focus on the habit. It's actually to focus on creating a new habit. So what do I mean by that? So I'll give you an example. in my own life, something that's happened recently. So with us being home all the time and Netflix and chilling a lot, what I found was happening was at the end of every day, I'd be tired and okay, let me sit down and watch TV. Let me watch Netflix. Great. So I would sit on the couch, and what would happen is even though I just had supper, even though I just ate, I'm not hungry. But the fact that, oh, I'm sitting on the couch, oh, let me just have some popcorn, let me just have some potato chips, and before I knew it, I'm sitting there Netflix and chilling, and I've eaten a whole nother meal while I'm sitting there chilling. And so with all the things that I've learned about how behavior works, I decided, okay, let me put it to the test. And so what I decided to do was every day at the end of the night, we'd eat, I'd do the dishes, and then immediately I created a new habit. And my new habit was, as soon as we'd eaten, as soon as I'd finished cleaning up the kitchen and tidying up, I would go and brush my teeth. So I'd do my floss, because that's the other thing that I was trying to do, is maintain my oral health, since I can't go to the dentist all that often anymore. It's like I've really got to be on top of that. So after I'd done all of that, I would go do my floss, brush, clean my tongue, all of that. And then I'd sit down to watch TV. Now here's what happened. So before I'd sit down and be like, okay, what snack can I eat? Now that I'd brushed my teeth, I was like, if I eat a snack, then I have to go brush my teeth again, and it's just too much effort. I won't bother. And so I found myself snacking less just by virtue of installing a new habit, which really wasn't a new habit. I'd have brushed my teeth anyway, but I just moved that habit up earlier. And so it meant that by me taking my attention off of wanting to snack because of my new habit of brushing my teeth, now my mouth felt nice and minty clean, I didn't want to snack anymore. So that's something that you can think about, is instead of going after your habit that you want to break, that you want to get rid of gung ho, because then all you're thinking about is that habit, is maybe create a new habit. Create a new habit that takes your attention away from that habit. So, for example, if you're trying to be fitter, maybe going for a walk because now you're out of the house and you're not eating anymore. Or if you're trying to exercise more, creating a new pattern in your day where instead of doing the old things, it takes you to exercise, or you're playing games with your kids, and then you're not tempted to snack or to miss your workout or whatever it is that you're trying to work on. So I know it sounds almost counterintuitive that instead of me trying to break my habit, let me create a new habit, but that really does work. And if we go back to what I said to you at the beginning about the marshmallow experiment with the kids who were successful were the kids who were able to divert their own attention from the marshmallow and distract themselves with something new. So it absolutely works the same way with any habit that you're trying to break or that you're trying to change. So I hope you found that useful. Let me know if you're enjoying this content about habits. It's something that I'm so passionate about, that I'm absolutely loving sharing. And the feedback that I've been getting has been that you're enjoying it too. Because what I want more than anything else is for you to realize whatever that best version of yourself is. And thank you for joining me. You guys are the best, and I so appreciate you.